Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we'll be learning about array. In some couples of video before, we talked about the primitive data type. But in this video, we will be talking about the non-primitive data type or the referencing data type. I'll be looking at the first one called array. So what is an array? In JavaScript, an array is a special variable that can store multiple value in a single document. Unlike the primitive data type, you can only store a particular value, but in array, you can store multiple value. So this is a good example of what an array means and how do we initialize an array. So we can create a collection of names. For example, I'll be using the let keyword to create a variable that can be changed. So I will call it cars, for example, or we can even use color. Color, good. So this is how we declare or initialize an array. We can initialize or declare an array in two ways, either by this bracket, or we do this new array, then we open the bracket, then we'll put what we need to do. So either we use this way or use this other way, it will also work. But I will prefer to just go with this. So we have example of color. Remember that color are strings, right? So color, example of color is red. We can also have blue. We can equally have yellow. We have black. In fact, arrays allows us to store different data types. It's not only a string. We can actually store a number. You can just add 100 here. Not only that, I can also store a boolean, either true or false. I can just decide to just save this, store this as false, and everything will still work. So what is an array? Collection of variables that are stored, different variables. So how array enables us to manipulate the data that we have. This is an array. And inside an array, we have different methods that are available. Methods can be seen or called functions. Well, so what is a function? So I've quickly placed it here. I say a function in JavaScript is a reusable block of code designed to perform a specific task. The task must be specific. It runs only when it's being called. It runs only when it's being called. And in the course of this video, don't worry, we'll be doing a lot of functions. So this is just like an introduction to what function is. And some functions can have what we call parameter. Parameters are like instrument that the function needs to function properly. That you may add, for example, if you want to multiply two numbers, right? You need to provide a parameter. Which well, parameter means that the what you want to multiply, either 20 or 50. You must provide them. So those things can be seen as parameter, and it will give you what we call the output. The output is the result. So enough of talking. Let's get our hands dirty by practicing it out. So array has different functions, right? Different methods that are inside them. So how do we access a particular item inside the array? And in array, we have what we call the index. The index means the way we arrange our number, our data inside the array. It starts from index 0 for JavaScript, right? So this red is occupying the index of 0, while this is occupying the index of 1. So normally in mathematics you say that we start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but in JavaScript you start from 0. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. 0, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 4, 5. So how do we access red? So we can access red by just doing this. Let's just declare a variable called let first value. Remember, I'm using the camel casing, right? Equals color, then this bracket 0. This bracket 0, the output will be red. The output will give us red. So if we do the same thing for, what did I do this here? Let me uncomment it out. If I do the same thing for this older one, let me call this one second value. Second value, and provide it the index of 1, it will give us blue. It will give us blue. So let's try it out in practice. So remember, there's a way we can see it using our console, our terminal. This is my terminal, open down. So I can just do console dot log, open bracket, call the first value, provide a string so that we can easily know what's going on. First value, provide comma to just first value equals this first value, this variable here. Copy it, do the same thing here, then change this to second value. Second value, second value, good. So run the script. The script is, we can see what we got right. It's brought everything out. You can see when we run it, it said the first value is red, while the second value is blue. So you can see the way we can access the value that is inside it. It's not just only accessing it, we can actually change it. For example, let me change this 100 to a different thing. I want to comment this out. Let me drag this out. So I want to comment this one's out, / so that it won't display it again. So how will I access this value? Remember, we are starting from the 0. JavaScript has the 0 index naming 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is at index of 4. So how do we access it? Let's the fourth value, we just want to call it the fourth value. We can even do like this, since we can even do it like this. We even if not want to put inside a variable, let's just do something like this. Then brackets, the fourth value. We want to assign it to a different thing. We want to give it a color of white. So we don't want the number again. Already done. Remember, this is the first code that we run. But now let's see what will be the code that we run. So let's console.log color and see what color we include now. And see what color we include now. So I want to clear my screen. Okay, it has been cleared. Okay, good. I want to key the terminal and drag it back up again. I've killed it and drag it back up again. So node, then array.js, run it. You can see it has been changed. So this is the new value now: red, blue, yellow, black, white. So I can also do the same thing for false. I intentionally put false so that you can see the way we can actually manipulate the value inside it. So let me do the fourth one. That will be the fifth index, right? The fifth index. So which color should I use? Which other color should I use? We've used white, we've used black, we've used yellow. There's also green. Let's use color green. Now let us see the new value that will be added. If you run it again, you can see that now we have green. Very, very interesting. So we can easily manipulate the data our inside array. Now array has different method. I want to comment this out. Array has different method that is available, that is provided for us to use. So we'll be discussing about some of them in this video, and in the next video we'll talk about some. So I basically divided them into different category because we have some that enables us to either add or remove things from our array. We have others that allow us to manipulate, delete, or make some changes, and we also have some that allow us to search for a particular value in the array. Supposing you have an array of 1000 items, just imagine, because we are just using these few ones that just include like eight items. What if you have 1 million? We will be looking at them one after the other to find the value you are looking for. You can as well do it, but you can as well do it, but it's going to take you a longer time. But there are methods that enables us to easily search out things using array. That's what programming is all about. That's what computer is all about. Making life easier and making us to get things very, very fast. So we'll be learning about some of this method because in the course of this course we will be making use of it. So if you observe everything we are learning, we are building on top the previous things that we've been learning. So it's very important for you to remember all what we've been learning along the course of the line. So the first method that we're explaining about is called the push method. What is the push method? The push method enables us to add something at the end of the array. The end of the array is meant to be green, right? We can still include another item because now we've already created it, right? So how do we include an item inside it? That is what we use the push method to do. So for example, we'll call the variable name, the identifier, right? We call it color, right? Remember, we are not declaring it again because we have already used the let keyword. So we just use the push method. Remember, we said method is similar to function, right? So method, then this is just a process of calling it. So what do you want to push? So You want to push another color, we can as well push another color. We can just push anything we want to push. For example, let me push the name called Nike inside it. I've pushed Nike inside this. I'll just press my enter key. I've already pushed it inside it anyway. So let's see what will happen now. Let's see what will happen. Let us run our, let's do our console.log. Let's see the content our of the color now, if nickel was truly added into the document. Push, then what's the name? Color. We've added color, right? So good. So look at the terminal now. You can see that nickel has been added under it. Nickel has been added under it. See nickel has been added under it. So that's the first one. Push allow enables you to put something at the end of the array. So nickel will be having which index number. Remember the last index number was before nickel was this. Well, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So nickel will be having the index number of 6. And one, mind you again, we can also check the length of the content that we have. We can check the length of what we have, right? I think I also need to include that length. Let's find out the length of our array. How do you find out the number of total items that we have in our array? Will you just be counting them one after the other? Fine, you can count them one after the other when they are actually limited, but when they are very, very large, it will be stressful and you can easily make mistakes. So which method is available for us to do that? There are methods available for us to do that. Let me put it under here. Remember I said the code run from top to bottom, so let me put it under here because I've added nickel to the list. So length of array, so I'll use color dot length, color dot length. Okay, let me just console dot log brackets total items in the array is this. So the outcome will be this, because there's a method on it called length. So let us run this code and see. I want to clear my screen. To clear the screen, I'll press clear and you clear my screen for me. So let me take it up a little bit. Let's see what is going to occur here. So good. So the total length is now what? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Remember we said the total length now is 7, but the index number starts in JavaScript starts from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for me to access Nike, I have to use the index number of 6 to get Nike. So that is all about using the length and the pop and the push method. So what is pop? Pop means pop is a method that we use to remove the last item on the list. So I want to remove the last item on the list. Let's say bye bye to the name called Nike. So what am I going to do? Let's see the outcome. Let me just put console.log. Console.log. Why am I using console.log? I want the outcome to be displayed on our terminal, right? I just want it to be displayed. So I can as well just do it here. But how we I want you to be able to see it so that it not be as if I'm just telling you things. Let's see it in practice. So I'll use color. So I don't even need to provide the value of nickel. I'll just use color then pop. So these are actually methods that have been created or functions that have been created. So it will remove and either the string, the name, all these things are what are all data type. Any of these data type that is the last is going to remove it. So you don't need to put nickel in it or put any other name. It will remove it. So let's see it in practice. So after we do this, after we okay, I don't even need to do this here. I just want to see the color. I want to see the content of color. So I will just add it here like this. Color dot pop. All right. Can you color dot pop and you will see what will happen. So let me drag this. Good. Now before nickel was here, but now what do we see now? Nickel has been removed from our list. It has been removed completely from our list. Good. So we've talked about pop, right? So let's go to the next one. I want to comment it out so that it won't run again. I don't want to see it again, so I want to comment it out. So we have actually removed nickel. Let's talk about the unshift method. So what is unshift method? We use unshift method to add value to the beginning of the array. Remember that we used push to add value at the end of the array. So for the unshift method, we use it to add value to the front of the array. So how do we do it? Color, remember the array, the variable is colored, it's called colored. Color dot unshift unshift unshift. Then what value do you want to put? We want to put gray. Gray, you know gray is a string, so we need to use the double quotation mark gray. So this is gray. So now let us see, let's console the log. Let's see what will happen. Console dot log, then color. One thing about arrays that it enables you to easily manipulate data, and once you start manipulating data, your memory, mental strength becomes stronger for you to remember how things runs. And the most interesting thing about JavaScript and programming in general, you don't need to memorize or cram any code. We have different resources online where you can go and just refresh your memory on them. But it's just good for you to just have the idea of the method, some of the things that they do, because definitely you may not be using everything, but you'll be using some of them. It's just a good practice to know everything. Anyway, as much as you can, actually, you need it. So control console.log now. Okay, we've done that. So let's see now. So I need to drag it up so I will see what is going on over here. Now you can see that gray has been added to the front, as the first element, right? Color gray has been added. Now we've learned about the the on shift. So the next one is shift. What is shift? One is on shift, one is shift. So this is not English, right? So this program is so based on the person that designed it. So that's how it is. This is not an English language. So you just need to just understand it. So now for the shift, now it means removing the first item on the list. So we can just use the same process. Press Let's copy it again. Let's copy this. Let's copy it. To avoid repetition, let me comment this out. Good, I've commented this out. So this method is called shift, right? So we'll run the code again. I want to drag it up a little bit. So clear my screen. You can see gray has been removed. Gray has been removed. It has been removed. So we've used the shift method to remove gray completely. So I want to comment this out so that it won't keep showing. I still need to go up. This console.log is still showing here. So I just use a single line commenting to just get rid of that. So the next one we'll be talking about is is okay, this part of the array is how we get or replace part of the array. You know, the other part we were trying to just add something and remove. So this one is about us replacing some parts of the array. We have what we call the slice method. Now is a very interesting method. So remember, let me I want to bring what we wrote here. So let me bring, remember, it's something like this. Anyway, let me just put something like this to down. So this is the value, right, that we currently have. So let me copy it from here. I want to copy it from here. Good. So just follow along with me. This is what we have presently. I've copied it. This is idea of what we have. Let me comment it out. So this is actually what we have now, right? So now we want to perform the slice operation. So mind you, what is slice? Is for you to copy part of the array. Maybe we want to copy a specific part of the array and put it inside somewhere. We want to create another variable to store it. We can actually use the slice method. Mind you, the slice method does not mean that you are deleting the content of the original file. It's just as if that you are copying some things, part of, like, okay, for example, your note, your textbook, you are copying something from your textbook into your note. That is what the slice method does. So what are we going to do it now? Remember, the variable name is color, right? Color. Then we use the method slice. So it's like slicing a particular section. So slicing is actually technical. So you must be logical to remember we are using is a zero index. Zero index. So this zero and this one. So supposing I want to get just get the value of red. I want to add it to another different variable, right? Let me just call it let's color one one, right? I can as well just write like that. Color one equals to this. How do I get the value of red? Remember that red is actually the first items, right? So I will slice from, I will just put zero, then slice one. So it's going to give me red. So what is it going to tell me now? It's telling me that slice from the first index, but don't get to these. Those slice from the first item in the array, but don't get to the index number one. This index number one. So it's just going to give me this value, right? So now my output will just be this. Will be red. Will be red. So let me use another example. Let me slice from blue to green, right? So let's do it like this. color color 2 equals to color dot slice brackets. So from 2, so 2 will not include 1, right? So it's starting from the index 1, the index number of 1, right? If you save index number 1 and not include the rest, I guess it should pick the other ones. It should pick everything, the rest of the this thing. Let me just put rest. That means, well, let's try it out in practice. Let's see what it will give us. Console dot log. So one good thing about all these things is that you may have done it in a long time, but as you keep practicing, you remember some of your things, some of the code you've written before. So there's nothing wrong in trying it out and see what will happen. Good. So you can see that it picked everything, everything else, everything remaining, the rest from blue to this. So slice does not mean that we are actually deleting anything from it. It's just that we're just taking a specific part and putting it somewhere else. So we are taking a specific part and putting something else somewhere else. So for this next one, we'll talk about the 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 slice now. This other one. So this one, it will remove. Remember, they are not the same words. They are two different words entirely. So this will just copy a particular section. So let's just look at it in general. So supposing I want to pick yellow. So how will I pick yellow? Now, yellow is starting with index of this index 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'll just start from here. Yellow. So yellow is just this color, right? Slice of this, like index of, let me look at it again. 0, 1, 2. So two to what? Maybe I just want to pick two and black. I want to pick yellow and black. So how am I going to do it now? This index of two of two. This index of three and this index of four. So I will now put comma 4. So what is it going to mean is that slice from index of 2, from these two, and slice to index of 3. Don't include 4. Stop before 4. That is what it means. That is what it means. So let's see it now. If what I said is correct or I made a mistake. So remember I said the outcome of this should give us this, should give us yellow and black. Yellow and black. As easy as that, it's meant to give us yellow and black. So let us drag our terminal. Let me drag it up. So I've dragged it up. I can clear my screen to create space. Control.log. Okay, let me go back. I don't think I console.log it. So I did. Yeah, so I didn't console.log it. So now let us console.log it. Of slides. You can see yellow and black. We got it and we arrive at that. So you can see how the slides is. So this other one, you can see remove or replace item, remove or replace item, remove or replace item, remove or replace item. So this one is making a major change to your variable called color. So if we engage with this one, you are definitely altering the total number of value that you have. So it's similar to this, to slide, but this slide is just copying, but this one is you are totally removing something. So let's remove the first color called red, right? Let's remove red. So how are we going to do it? So we use first of all the name of the variable color dot the name of the method that we are using, that we are calling. We're actually calling the method. Then the red is just the first one, right? So I think we'll do the, it has the index of 0. Then the number is what? It's just one item, right? I want to remove. I want to try this thing out. I want to try this thing out. Let me see what it's going to give me. But I think it's meant to still remove red from the this thing. So let me console.log and see the remaining color that will be available. So let me see the remaining color that will be available. Good. So red has been removed completely from our array. Red is no longer valid. We've removed it using the slice. We've removed it using the slice. Remember, we could have used another method to remove it, which we did before. Which was the method? Which method did we use before to remove it? You know that if you are removing from the front, we use the on shift. We use the shift. Sorry, we use the shift to remove from the front. Then we use the on shift to add to the front. But if you are removing from the back, we just use a pop to remove from the back. So we need to remember that. So that will be all for this video because this video is getting long. So I will continue with the remaining method in array in the next video.